What's happening, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, hi, my name is Justice, and if you're not new, how you doing, girl? You know how it goes. Today I'm coming to you guys with something a little bit different. As you would have seen from the title, I'm going to be talking about all things shmoney, baby. I really need the money. So I've put together a list of kind of tips and rules that I generally use to try and save money, and just around financial literacy that I think would be kind of helpful to you guys. So obviously this is based on things that I have personally experienced. Just to let you guys know, if you don't know, I'm based in London, so this kind of will apply to those in the UK. I'm not sure how it works outside of the UK, but you can still take some of these rules and tips and kind of apply them to your life as and where you can. So enough waffle, let's get into the video. And if you like it, be sure to give it a like and subscribe if y'all want to. I'll wait. So my first very obvious tip that you guys should be doing already is saving. Save. I can't stress it enough. Save, baby, because you never know what's gonna happen. We in a whole recession over here, baby. Like, this is the Great Depression or some shit. So obviously, to be able to save, you need to have a bank account. I would personally recommend looking for a bank account that offers a high interest rate, but like I said, due to kind of COVID and everything that's going on, I know a lot of banks have kind of dropped their interest rates recently. I personally bank with Santander, and I know that their interest rates over the last 6 months or so, the interest rate has dropped. So if you don't know what an interest rate is, it's basically a percentage that your bank is willing to give back to you, and it's dependent on the amount of money in your account. It typically comes in different forms. You can have simple interest or compound interest. Y'all can go Google those terms because I did not study economics, accounting, anything like that. So it's basically meaning if you have, I don't know, a bank account with £100 in it, and they offer a 1% interest rate, you would get 1% of that £100.
He needs some milk.
Times 10. So if I'm using myself as an example, one of my accounts that I have, I had saved about £10,000 at one point. Each month I was getting around £5 back. So £5 a month for not doing anything and just banking with Santander. I mean, it's free money, like. So that is something you might want to quickly check with your bank account. What are they actually offering you, and is there better out there? Now, going on from that example, £5 per month, that may not seem like a lot of money. In a year, that would be 5 times 12, £60. So going on to my next tip, it would be to invest in something. Now, I know when people say invest, they kind of automatically think stocks, shares, Forex, Bitcoin, gold, oil, all of this stuff, and it gets really confusing. I know I find it confusing. So of course you could look into the typical way of investing, which people often talk about, investing in stocks or shares. Now, I'm not going to go too much into this because I personally don't do that, but I have used platforms before such as like eToro or Trading 212. There's so many platforms out there that you can practice trading stocks and shares. So they basically have this kind of simulator with fake money, and just practice learning how to trade and stuff. Obviously I'm making it seem very simple. There's so much that goes into it, so much reading that I would advise you to do before using your own money, but obviously that is an option that you could look into. Certain platforms do have the option to kind of copy trade people. So people who are more experienced in trading, you're able to copy the moves that they make to make themselves a profit and ultimately make yourself a profit. But again, disclaimer, huge disclaimer, you need to do your own research with that, and never invest anything that you would not want to lose, because you can obviously lose what you put in. Recently I've been doing reading in Forex, which is foreign exchange, and that's just the exchange of one currency to another currency to make a profit depending on the value of that currency. So hopefully I've explained that right. All my economic babies, like, leave your comments down below if I make a mistake. Again, there's a lot to it. You need to learn the trends, how to analyze graphs, all of that good stuff, all of that business. But that is an option that you could do if you had that £60 and you wanted to try and, you know, make your money work for itself, you know what I mean? That was a free £60. You could try and invest that in Forex or stocks and make a profit, and then keep investing with any profit you're making. The next way that I would suggest you could invest would be to invest in somebody else, whether they have a business or an idea that you guys could put in together and try and make a return that way, or it would be to invest in yourself. Now that can be in multiple different ways, but obviously you guys know I do YouTube. I taught myself to edit, not that it's anything fancy, but from doing that I've been able to create different opportunities for myself to make additional money. If you had a skill or an interest that you wanted to learn more about but you're not sure how to go about it, there are so many resources online that you could check out, whether those are free resources or resources such as courses that you would have to pay for. Recently I've been thinking about doing a course in videography, just because I feel like I could definitely up my skills, and you know, there's so much to learn. So if I wanted to, I could take that little £60 from my interest and pay for a course for me to develop my skills or learn a new skill. That's with you forever. No one can take that away from you. So if you are able to market yourself correctly or take advantage of certain platforms such as Fiverr, for example, you can then offer your services to do that skill for other people. So you can obviously apply this to your own life. If you had, I don't know, you wanted to sell lashes, everybody's selling lashes. I might even sell lashes at some point. But if you wanted to sell lashes, you could do a course on how to market yourself. And then make your own website on something such as Wix or Squarespace. I've used Wix before, really easy to use, and it's a free platform. You learn how to market yourself with your little course that you paid for with your little interest money, and now you have this skill of being able to market yourself or your own products or somebody else's products that you can now charge for or make a profit off of. Y'all catching my drift? Like, that's obviously just one example that I can think of off the top of my head, but there are so many different ways to invest in yourself. Now, if we take a step back to my first point where I said to save, I'm going to kind of break down how I actually go about this myself personally. So going into my third point, it would be to save smart. So since my first ever job, I don't even know how old I was when I first started working, but I've always kept a job. Like, I've always kept a job because I like the shmoney, girl. I like the shmoney. We friends, we best friends. But the typical rule I would try to stick to would be to save 60% and spend 40% of my income. So I would put 60% of my income straight into my bank account so that I can rack up on that interest rate, baby. And then I would have the other 40% of my salary to do whatever I want. So that would cover kind of living costs. I would try to make it cover travel, but travel's super expensive in London, so sometimes I would take that out of my 60%, and I was quite flexible, you know. You don't have to stick to it, you know, you don't have to be super cutthroat with it. If you need a bit of extra cash, you can kind of dip into, you know, that 60%, but the main aim is to save the majority of what you're making. Put it into a savings account or account with a high interest rate. So I definitely used this habit when I was in university. I had a range of jobs and I always used that rule of 60-40. And that, along with my next point, was what kind of allowed me to save a decent amount of money at a relatively young age. I'm relatively young, y'all. So my next point, if you are a university student and you are applying for student loan, or we're in October now, so you would have got your first student loan payment. Baby, be smart with your student loan. I'm telling you, this is probably the only large lump sum of money that you're going to get in life that doesn't require you to pay back immediately. One thing I did not do when I got my student loan was go out and buy all designer, higgy haga, spend it on alcohol. Baby, no. By the time I was in my final year of university, I had a significant bit of my student loan left over, which I then obviously just had with me into my working career, and that was really useful just to have. So those are my kind of money making, money saving tips. The last one that I'll talk about is just to take advantage of the discounts out here in these streets. So I'm sure you guys would know, if you watch a lot of YouTube, you see honey and things like that advertised all the time. So honey, if I just use that as an example, is a plugin that you can download on your browser, and it basically just tries to find discount codes for whatever shop you decide to purchase things with online. There's always a code for things like Misguided, things like PLT, whatever you're kind of looking for. Always take advantage of the discount codes. It may not seem like a lot because typically they're 10% off, maybe 20% off if you're lucky, but I don't know about y'all, but I'm a frugal babe. Like, if I can save money, give me a little discount code. Give it over. Hand it over. There's things like student beans, I think, that you can make an account on. All that good stuff. You know, you should have all of that information given to you at university. Just check with your work place or university institution and see what they offer. So the last tip I'm going to give you guys would just be to persevere. Whether this is you're struggling to save and you know you just think you can't do it, persevere. Try and find other tips and stuff online that can help. Use things like Monzo, where you can see what goes out of your account as soon as you spend money. Things like that. Just persevere. Whether that's trying to invest money and you're struggling, or you keep losing money and you're not understanding how things work in the trading world, persevere. There's so many resources online. Just keep going. Whether that's you can't find a job and you know you're running low on funds, try and think of ways to create opportunities for yourself, learn a new skill. So again, persevere. I know it's real hard, like it's real hard, but just keep pushing and try and find and make other opportunities for yourself, whether that's freelancing, volunteering, helping out with someone else to gain experience. Try and do everything in your power to build up your portfolio or your CV resume, and just improve yourself and make yourself more marketable, so that when the next opportunity does come along, you look like a great candidate and they will want to take you on. Ain't no rejection round here, baby. So those are my tips and rules. Hopefully I didn't waffle too much. I hope you guys found something interesting in this video. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm just speaking from my own personal experiences and knowledge. Obviously there's definitely more learning that I need to do, as most of us need to, but I think it's just important to be prepared and have the knowledge than to not. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please do give me a like just to get me on the algorithm, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.